In a quiet corner of London, nestled between Hyde Park to the north and Cadogan Palace Gardens to the east, a 7,000 square foot red brick mansion is the home and hearth of Lalit Modi. Wanted for questioning back home for a slew of charges ranging from alleged financial misappropriation to foreign exchange violations, Modi has been sitting in this haven, biding his time, licking his wounds, plotting the next assault on our senses, sometimes through TV interviews and sometimes through Twitter. The wood-panelled residence filled with paintings and statues, Modi is prone to pointing out how Tony the neighbourhood really is. He makes it a point to sell his guests, often more than once, that Pakistan Prime Minister Nawaz Sharif's London home is barely a mile away on 118 Park Street, right next to Dorchester. When Lalit Modi holidays, he travels to the most exotic locales on the face of the planet. He rents bungalows and palaces of international celebrities. He flies in private jets and owns a luxury yacht and travels the world capitals in super opulent cars and has tough-looking bodyguards to keep the crowds at bay. Lalit Modi, by his own claims, is super rich. The moment Modi's travel documents were secured on the 1st of August 2014, thanks to Keith Vaz and Swaraj's intervention, a few weeks before his passport was restored by the Delhi High Court, he began making up for lost time. Though he did go to Lisbon's Champlimont Centre for the Unknown on the 3rd of August, perceptibly for his wife Minal's cancer treatment, which he had cited as the reason for asking for travel documents on humanitarian grounds, a deluge of exotic foreign destinations soon followed, starting with Ibiza just 3 days later. Over the next 12 months and ostensibly in exile, Modi jet-setted to at least 25 of the most exotic destinations across the world, ranging from Venice to Havana and Phuket to Serengeti to Tanzania. He lived, what he admits himself, his life king size. Lalit Modi may not have made it in the Indian Premier League or as a stand-up citizen in India, but he's earned his credentials as the best travel blogger in the world. Modi shows you what to do when you're finally given travel documents. Destination number 1. Lalit Modi first travelled to Portugal where his wife was being treated. Destination number 2. Ibiza to celebrate the remarkable improvement of Minal's health. Destination number 3. Montenegro, a small nation on the coast of Adriatic. Istanbul. Lalit celebrated his mum's 70th birthday, hung out with famous Turkish media personality Nazli Selikbilgili. Croatia. Greece. Lalit was seen island hopping in Greece with his sister, meditating, cycling and living it up in her palace. Destination number 8 and 9. Munich and Zurich. Destination number 10, Venice. This is where Lalit Modi was celebrating his marriage anniversary with wife Minal. Destination number 11, Dubai, where Lalit Modi partied with SRK, Abhishek Bachchan, Deepika Padukone, Jackie Shroff, Farah Khan and Malaika Arora at the world premiere of Happy New Year. Destination number 12, Madrid. Lalit Modi was here to catch the finals between Real Madrid and Juventus. Destination number 13, Maldives, another family vacation. Destination number 14, Africa. Here Lalit met the medicine man who cured his wife, his spiritual guide Wendy Mandy, and a wildlife safari with the kids in Serengeti. Destination number 15, Zimbabwe. Destination number 16, Cuba. Customized cigarettes surrounded by cigars, lunch with Fidel Castro's oldest son, partying with Paris Hilton and his sister Naomi Campbell. Destination number 18, Jamaica. 19, Rome. Destination number 20, Phuket. Destination number 21, Italy and Spain. While he attended the evening mass for Easter, Lalit just casually hung out with Kevin Spacey while giving a shout-out to House of Cards. Destination number 22, China. Took an evening stroll in Tiananmen Square and the Olympic Stadium in Beijing. Lalit Modi's Instagram account is full of images with models and actors from Naomi Campbell to Paris Hilton and Kevin Spacey to Stephen Fry. He He loved to drop names, get himself photographed with the movers and shakers of the world. He also became a regular on India's overseas wedding circuit. On the 12th of June, for example, he was at the St. Regis Hotel in Venice's San Clemente Island for the wedding of Pamela Grover and Kimi Grover's son Ashwin to London-based socialite Ria Khilnani. The Grovers, who are part of the Modella Woolens family, are Minal's first cousins. On the 27th of May, Modi was in Istanbul's Chiragha Palace for the wedding of businessman Pramod Goenka's son Yash with hotelier Ramesh Narang's daughter Natasha. On the 6th of June, Modi hired 2 planes from the firm Vista Jet and flew more than 50 people to Havana for Minal's birthday bash. The race, London to Havana, is about to conclude after 6 hours in the air, he tweeted in a post that was peppered with emoticons of airplanes. For the 4-year period between 2010 and 2014, Modi remained restricted to the UK with his wife Minal and his children Ruchir and Alia. It was a good life, hosting high-profile friends such as Christina and Steve Schwarzman, co-founder of the asset-managing firm Blackstone, and hanging out with David Tang, the Hong Kong-based businessman who runs the Chinatown restaurant at the Dorchester. Modi would regularly show up at Wimbledon, at English Premier League games, at the London Olympics, for which he was offering tickets to any friends who were in the city that summer. It is quite obvious that what Lalit Modi likes more than anything else is flaunting his famous connections. The most recent addition to his friends list has been Cuban leader Raul Castro, while former Thai Prime Minister in exile Thaksin Shinawatra is another close friend. There are now reports that he's planning a Chinese Premier Soccer League and is believed to have touch base with top soccer stars like Neymar and Ronaldo for their participation. Lalit Modi has over the years kept mentioning risk to his family and his family's life for not returning back to India. The threats, he insists, are real and that the Indian security agencies aren't providing him the protection he really needs. Curiously, the controversial former IPL czar left India just days after the Enforcement Directorate turned the heat on him and had summoned him for questioning in an alleged money laundering investigation. It led to intense speculation over whether his risk to life claim was just a ploy to evade the probe.
In April 2009, the Maharashtra State Intelligence, led by D. Sivanandan, sent a report to the Mumbai police indicating that there was a threat to Lalit Modi and his family from the Chota Shakil gang. The intelligence had intercepted calls indicating this, after which the Mumbai police provided security to Lalit Modi, having received this input.
A year later, during a routine review of all protected persons, the Mumbai police assessed the threat was no longer there and withdrew the cover. Ironically, Sivanandan by then was heading the Mumbai police. Lalit Modi requested the police to restore his cover, which was rejected.
Not the one to give up, Lalit Modi then hired a Hong Kong-based private security agency company to assess his threat level. The company said threat existed from the D company and added the name of Indian Mujahideen to the organizations threatening him.
In June 2010, Mumbai Police's State Intelligence Unit said they did get another input of a threat to Lalit Modi from the D company and that a D gang member was spotted in Bangkok when he was there with his family. A partial cover was sanctioned to be actioned whenever Lalit Modi was in India.
Within days, Lalit Modi hired a private security consultant in London, which reiterated the threat to him. He also reported the Bangkok threat to the Scotland Yard, as by then he was a resident of the United Kingdom. As a matter of policy, the Scotland Yard does not comment on personal security threats, so there is no word on what happened post his complaint.
Security agencies say post the June 2010 input, no assessment indicated any threat to Lalit Modi, the reason why his security was totally withdrawn. While Lalit Modi might have been a shrewd businessman, his early life wasn't as easy. He ran away from his school, Bishop Cotton, and it was only because he did well on his SATs that he got an admission in the US. But it was as a student at Duke University that Lalit Modi got caught in the circle of drugs. In 1985, he was arrested on charges of trafficking cocaine and assault with a deadly weapon with an intent to kill. Modi pleaded guilty to his crimes and entered a plea bargain. He was handed down a suspended 2-year sentence. In 1986, Modi graduated from Duke and appealed to the courts to move to India on health grounds. But the story that rocked the Modi family was Modi's unconventional love affair. While still a student, he fell in love with a married woman called Minal. She was Lalit's mother's friend and 9 years his senior. Her husband had been in jail in Saudi Arabia. After securing a divorce, Minal moved to Delhi and she and Lalit announced their intentions to marry. What followed were days of upheaval in the Modi family, angry outbursts and threats. But Lalit was born stubborn and he finally had his way. The wedding took place on the 17th of October 1991. Lalit Modi was provided with a car and an allowance and he shifted to Mumbai and lived in a house belonging to Minal's father, which he later bought. Little did anyone know that from his banishment in Mumbai, Lalit Modi would only rise and rise. Somewhat like the Icarus of the Greek tragedy, who would fly so high that the sun would finally melt his wax wings away. In his heart, the scion of the Modi empire always dreamt big. It did not matter that in the end, he always had to fall back on the silver spoon he was born with.
In very few years after he joined, he brought in 4KK Modi Group, a joint venture with Walt Disney, and we made great success out of it. We had invested 50 lakhs of rupees, and when after 10 years we had an obligation to sell, we sold it for 60 crores. And Lalit was at the helm of the affair.
The business of cricket happened to Lalit Modi when in 1994 a Modi company became the Indian distributor of ESPN for a 5-year contract. However, things did not work out as planned. ESPN took Modi to court for money matters. Eventually, the family sold off the joint venture. But by then, Lalit had gotten a taste of the cash-rich, glamour-studded world of cricket.
Oh, he's got him, yes!
It was then that Lalit Modi is said to have come up with a nascent idea that would one day become the IPL. He gave a proposal to the BCCI, then controlled by Jagmohan Dalmia, to start a year-round limited-over cricket league. Dalmia refused. No one had imagined at the time that a combination of cricket and entertainment would work.
Fulfill it. Somebody needs to keep striving for it and keep going for it. I knew that if you continue to push for it, that one day I will succeed. And that's why I kept at it and at it and at it, though there was thousands and thousands of barriers against it.
The IPL was a success. Cricket had become a commodity that could be sold as packaged entertainment. And no one could have imagined that within 3 short years, it would form its own subculture. That it would form its own parallel economy that would live and breathe the Indian Premier League. Lalit Modi created a juggernaut that straggled the world of cricket and entertainment, traditionally the 2 big money spinners in the public domain. Contracts were given, auctions held, advertising sold, huge amounts of money began exchanging hands, and it was all controlled by Lalit Modi. Modi virtually ran the IPL from the Four Seasons Hotel in Mumbai. He would go for every single match, sometimes alone, sometimes with friends, in a jet that was being used as his private transport. He also made up rules as he went along, both about how cricket should be played and about how business should be conducted. A list of all those who stayed at the Four Seasons Hotel enjoying Modi's hospitality reads like a who's who of India's celebrity crowd.
I'm a reformist, I'm an innovator, so I'm always in it.
For him to achieve his dream, Lalit Modi had to find a way to get into cricket administration. And this is where he began activating his contacts in politics. His good friend Vasundhara Raje had become the Chief Minister of Rajasthan. And it's no coincidence that this was the state Modi moved to begin his foray into the money-spinning gentleman's game. It took Modi 10 years to break down the stiff boundaries that marked the Indian cricket administration. It was and still remains a boys-only club and no outsider could get in. He got in by concealing his true identity and joining the Rajasthan Cricket Association. It was Lalit Kumar who made it into the RCA. Then in 2004, the Rajasthan Chief Minister was instrumental in making Lalit the chief of the RCA, a position which gave him a seat at the BCCI.
How the process was misused and how things were done, things like impersonation. For instance, nobody knew Lalit Modi till then. And suddenly when Lalit Modi appears here and he rechristens himself as Lalit Kumar and files a nomination, and one fine day you find there's a Lalit Kumar who was a Nagaur Association president, and he is here in the form of Lalit Modi.
The board's profits soared over $1 billion that year, with Modi handling all its major commercial deals. Years later, his brainchild, the IPL, a 2020 version of his original 1992 plan, took cricket's economics to a different level. A tussle for control of the IPL began with N. Srinivasan, who was then secretary of the board, and significantly clipped Modi's wings by not letting him take calls on some of the IPL's commercial deals. Soon after Raje was displaced in Rajasthan, Modi lost the election for the Rajasthan Cricket Association because a coup was engineered overnight by the new Congress government in the state. Suddenly, he was no longer a vote-bearing member with access to the BCCI's inner sanctum. When he lost a second time in 2010 with the IPL running on its own steam by then, he became dispensable. All of Modi's friends in the cricket world quickly pulled away, at least publicly. His political and celebrity connections may remain, but the charges against him, his penchant to shoot off his mouth, and his garishness started militating against any public display of support. But the big questions that remain are, will the manner in which his travel documents were issued make Lalit Modi pay a heavier price than he had bargained for? And will the government now be forced to get him to India just to prove that it wasn't unduly helping him?
What is government's answer to Mr. Lalit Modi's wild charge that his life will be in danger if he returns to India? Is the NDA government incapable of protecting an Indian citizen who is required by the ED to appear for an inquiry?
Lalit Kumar Modi of Sloane Street, London, and newly repatriated citizen of the world may not like the answers.